Leclerc's ideas did not constitute a theory of evolution, but his writings did influence many others to continue exploring and investigating this area of study. Where once it would have been accepted that all living things were fixed and unable to change. Erasmus Darwin, 1731 to 1802.
I am Charles Darwin's grandfather. I was a philosophy and philosopher. I wrote a book called Sonomia, in which I say that one and the same kin of living filament is and has been the cause of all organic life. That is to say that all living things have a common ancestry. I also believe that the strongest and the most active animal will reproduce and has a result the species will by predominance. My book was very radical and controversial. I was banned by the Vatican as my views suggested that living things were not created by a God.
Lamarck, 1744 to 1829.
I'm Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. I'm a French naturalist. I thought that transmutation of a species did occur. Transmutation was the word that we used before it started to become evolution. I thought that living things inherited traits that enabled them to adapt better to the environment. I didn't have the evidence to really support my idea. Also, I didn't think that all living things shared a common ancestor.
Thomas Robert Malthus, 1766 to 1834.
Hello, I'm Thomas Malthus. I wrote about population, the number of people, not transmission or evolution. However, my books were widely read and influenced scholars of other fields. This included the idea that each population grew then they will start to service as food will become scarce. In this case, some will die of disease of hunger, which will lead to a decline in the population. While I was talking about humans, this idea was applied to all living things by Darwin and Wallace.
Robert Edmund Grant, 1793 to 1874.
I was very influenced by Lamarck's work on transmission and evolution. I proposed that animal and plant had a common evolutionary start point, from which they then diverged. I was one of Charles Darwin professors at the University of Edinburgh. It is here that he started to read books about transmission and learn previous ideas about the evolution of them.
Robert Chambers, 1802 to 1871.
Hello, I am Robert Chambers. I wrote a book, Anonymous Mode, which means that no one kept it was my book, called Investigate of a Natural History of Creation. It was a prospect that the solar system and air evolved, as well as living things on air. I had investigated fossils and believed that a living things branched off to become different species, including humans. With a lot of people debate my ideas. There were many who disagreed with them.
Leclerc's ideas did not constitute a theory of evolution, but his writings did influence many others to continue exploring and investigating this area of study. Where once it would have been accepted that all living things were fixed and unable to change. Erasmus Darwin, 1731 to 1802.
I am Charles Darwin's grandfather. I was physiologist and physician. I wrote a book called Sonomia, in which I say that one and the same kin of living filament is and has been the cause of all organic life. That is to say that the living things have a common ancestor. I also believe that the strong and most active animals will reproduce and as a result, the species will improve. My book was very radical and controversial. I was banned by the Vatican, as my views suggested that living things were not created by a God.
Lamarck, 1744 to 1829.
I thought transmutation of species did occur. Transmutation was the word we used before it started to be called evolution. I thought that living things inherited traits that enable them to adapt better to the environment. I didn't have the evidence to really support my idea. Also, I didn't think that all living things shared a common ancestor.
Thomas Robert Malthus, 1766 to 1834.
Hello, I am Thomas Malthus. I wrote about the population, the number of the people. It's no transmutation or evolution. However, my books were worldwide with an influential of over 5. They increased the idea that if population brings the world, struggle to service as food will become scarce. In this case, some will die of disease or hunger, which would lead to a disgrace in the population. Well, I was talking about unions. This idea was applied to a living things, be Darwin and Wilson.
Robert Edmund Grant, 1793 to 1874.
I was very influenced by Lamarck's work on transmutation and evolutionarism. I proposed that animals and plants had a common evolutionary start point from which they then diverged. I was one of Charles Darwin professors at the University of Edinburgh. It's here that he started to read books about transmutation and he learned a previous idea about evolution of life.
Robert Chambers, 1802 to 1871.
I wrote a book anonymously, which means that no one can is was my book. Kayak Investigate of the Natural History of Creation, in which I processed that the solar system and Earth evolved, as with all living things on Earth. I had investigated fossils and believed that all living things version up to become different species, include human. Will a lot of people debate my ideas? There are many who disagree with them.